as a finalist for the Paul R. Wright Chapter Success Award, and it pushed our leaders onto the national stage. Our leaders are serving on boards nationally now. From our first semester to our last, we have had the faculty to remind us of the importance of molding ourselves into a well-rounded physician. In a recent study from Mayo Clinic, patients were interviewed about their experiences with physicians. It was found that there were 8 vital traits that patients favored in an ideal physician. I'd like to go over that with you. They're looking for a confident, empathetic, humane, personal, forthright, respectful, knowledgeable, and thorough physician. Graduates, these are the qualities that we must incorporate every day in our practice of medicine. From learning more about the graduating class, we see that well-rounded physicians were taking shape in their years at Windsor University. It was exciting to learn that 27% of the class has participated in research, 36% have volunteered in organizations, and 47% simultaneously worked on a master's degree. With this track record, the class of 2013 is prepared to be a part of the next generation of practicing physicians. Today, here, Windsor University is adding 75 graduates to the shortage of primary care physicians. They will be part of the medical community that will meet the demands of a healthcare system that is already adding 34 million more patients. To this, I say, we are ready. On behalf of the class of 2013, a very special thank you to Dr. Gupta, Dr. Margolis, Dr. Sundaresh, Dr. Vijay, Dr. Venkatesh, Dr. Vishal, Ms. Leader, Mr. Ramesh, our families, and St. Kitts. Ms. Leader is happy now. For providing the environment and support to help make this dream come true. Congratulations, class of 2013. Thank you.
Thank you, host, for the very inspiring and informative speech. Next, for our keynote speech, we have amongst us Dr. Vidya S. Kora. A warning, please hold on to your seats because you might be blown away after I read about this introductory bio. Yeah, Dr. Kora, after finishing his medical graduate studies in Hyderabad, India, came to US and finished his internal medicine residency at Cook County Hospital, Chicago, Illinois in 1986. He has been active in local politics. He was elected twice as LaPorte County Coroner. He also was elected to the Board of Trustees to the Michigan City Area Schools, where he served one 4-year term. He was elected as LaPorte County Commissioner in 2012, a position he currently holds. In addition to his political activities in his community, he also serves on the board of the Northern Indiana Region of Francisco Alliance, which is a hospital system which he owns and operates 13 hospitals in Indiana and Illinois. Dr. Kora strongly believes in advocacy on behalf of his patients, and for that reason, he has been active in the political action committees of the Indiana State Medical Association and the American Medical Association. And he currently serves on the boards of Indiana Medical Association Political Actions Committee and American Medical Association's Political Committee. Whew. After all that, Dr. Kora also is a practicing physician at Franklin Clinic, which he founded in 1987, which is a group practice. Dr. Kora also has a very personal association with the Windsor University, as his daughter has successfully graduated from Windsor University and is now about to start her residency, internal medicine residency, at Mount Carmel Hospital System in Columbus, Ohio. Not only that, his son, Rishi, which I personally knew, also studied at the Windsor and is currently doing his clinical rotations. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join your hands together to welcome Dr. Vidya S. Kaur.
Thank you, Dr. Vishal, for that wonderful introduction. And just one correction, I do serve on the Northern Indiana Regional Board of the Franciscan Alliance, but I don't own it, I just serve on the board. The Sisters of St. Francis own the system, and I have been privileged to be a part of that organization for the past 10 years. First of all, what a wonderful day it is to see so many young medical graduates graduating from Windsor University. And I was reminded sitting here about when I graduated about 35 years ago. That was before you were all born. So congratulations. If you could all the graduates just stand? Let's give them a good round. It is a great moment indeed, and you are coming to become a part of a profession. Yeah, please have some. You're becoming a part of a profession which I absolutely love, and I'm going to tell you why. That's the theme of my presentation today. And I also want to congratulate all the parents and the families who have supported these students, because without you, this would not have been possible. So thank you very much. And also the faculty, several of the faculty members are here. I know my children were in St. Kitts, so when they're there, the faculty is like their parents over there, and so we thank you all for everything you do. As I walked in this morning, I saw several volunteers running around, helping, taking care of all of us, and volunteerism is a wonderful thing, and nowhere is it better exhibited in the United States of America. So give all these volunteers a big hand. You're beginning to embark on a journey, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be interesting, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be fulfilling, but also it will involve a lot of hard work, which I'm sure you're all prepared for and you've already been doing. Because practicing medicine is really unlike anything else. It's not a job, it's a calling. You've been called to do this. And the more you approach this with that attitude, the more you're going to enjoy this, you're going to have fun, you'll be fulfilled. And not only that, your patients will be blessed to receive your care. And so I always emphasize when I speak to medical students about the importance of having the right attitude. Because I always say that your attitude will determine your altitude, how high you're going to fly. And so I think having the right attitude when we take up this profession is important. And the reason I emphasize is sometimes things get so commercialized that sometimes we lose track of what this profession is all about. Yes, we all have to make a living, we all have to make money to make a living and all, but this is more than that. Making money is a byproduct of a wonderful service that we provide, and the service that needs to be provided with enthusiasm and with passion. And when we do that, not only do we enjoy the work we are doing, but also some of the financial rewards will follow. And so I think whenever I speak with students, when I speak at the hospitals, I emphasize the passion factor, I call it. We need to bring passion to our work. Now, one's attitude, frankly, is the best predictor of success. So as you leave this hall today, the one thing I want to carry with you is all the things that you have learned, all the things that the professors have taught you will only contribute 20% to your professional success. But your attitude, your interpersonal skills, and how you get along with people, the passion you bring to your work, that will determine 80% of your success. So I think you need to take this to heart and make sure that you pay attention to that. The remaining time that I have with you this morning, I'm going to share some thoughts of what it takes to be an effective physician. The word effective is an all-encompassing word. And some of it, Dr. Afroz Hafiz already touched on from the Mayo Clinic article. And I'm so glad that was a nice segue for me to get into. And also I was very happy to hear that you have a very vibrant chapter of the American Medical Students Association. Because, talking about the American Medical Students Association, I was just, maybe it was so exciting that, but I'm very passionate about organized medicine. As you heard from my CV, I've been involved with the Indiana State Medical Association for over 2 decades. I've been the past president of the State Medical Association and currently serve on the PAC boards of both the AMA and the Indiana State Medical Association. The thing that you have started about the American Medical Students Association, please keep it. When you go and become residents and fellows and practicing physicians, please continue to participate. One of the things people ask me is, what is power? Power is not about holding a position. Power is about participating. Participation is power. The more you participate, then you change things. You change things for the better. And by doing that, you gain influence. And that influence is power. So please remember that. Keep participating, and that will help you become a very effective physician. So when I was getting ready to give this presentation last night, I identified several skills that we need to have as to become an effective physician. One is we need to be competent at what we do. Number 2 is we need to be confident of what we do. Number 3 is we need to be compassionate in delivering the care. Number 4 is we need to have leadership skills. And leadership skills is not necessarily holding a position, but as we evolve into team-based healthcare, you need to become leaders of your teams to deliver the care that our patients need. And the last, and the 5th skill I talked about is communication, because communication is very, very important. How we communicate with each other, how we communicate with patients, their families, other team members, and there will be a lot of other team members as the practice of medicine evolves. Then the other skill I talk about is advocacy skills. Now, as members of the American Medical Students Association, you've already started to learn how to be an advocate for your patients and an advocate for your profession, which is a wonderful thing. And that was music to my ears when you said that this is one of the biggest chapters of the AMSA. And then time management skills. Now, when you look at all this, when you see what there's so much to be done professionally, personally, for professional growth, personal growth, and families, you need to have the skills to manage your time effectively and efficiently. So I think it's very important to learn those time management skills. And then lastly, how to manage our resources and our money and our finances, both at a personal level and also as a health system level, because with the budgetary constraints we have in Washington now, it is very important that we manage our resources effectively, that way we can deliver the care that the people need in an efficient manner without wasting too much money. So let me just go over one of these at a time. Competence. Now, the years of study that you have done in St. Kitts, the exams that you have passed, the residency training you're going to take, and then the boards that you're going to pass, all of them will give you the necessary competence to do what you need to do. That's going to happen. It's just a question of time. And as you are preparing for your training during your residency, make sure you utilize every opportunity to become more competent. Go the extra mile, ask the questions that you need to ask, and volunteer to do more, because that's the time of life that you can learn the most. I remember vividly the training that I received at Cook County Hospital right here in Chicago, and it was a tremendous training program. We saw a lot, we did a lot, we learned a lot, and that gave me a tremendous amount of confidence, because confidence comes from doing things, challenging yourself, going beyond our level of comfort to stretch ourselves a little bit. That's where we gain confidence. So competence will come with practice. And also, when our patients come to us, they always they take it for granted that we are competent. Otherwise, we would not have the license to practice medicine, nor would we have had the board certifications and things like that, which we all display on the walls in our office. So competence is given. Now, once we say that the competence is given, then what are the other things that really make one a successful and an effective physician? And those are the other things that we talked about, confidence. Now, the important thing in building confidence is practice and preparation. The more we practice, the more we prepare ourselves, the more we get confident. And that's the purpose of residency program. So make use of every opportunity, attend every CME program, every morning report, morbidity mortality conferences, CPCs. Make sure that you attend every one of those conferences whenever your time permits and learn those things. And when we don't know certain things, I think we need to be honest with ourselves, do a self check. We need to tell ourselves that, okay, these are the things I know, these are the things I do not. Let's make a list of it and keep learning. And when we do that, the confidence will come automatically. And embrace new opportunities and start doing difficult things, small things at a time. And as you break those things down into small pieces, then you can start identifying and conquering those things. And then quickly you realize after a year, boy, a year ago, I was not confident about doing things, but today I am so proficient in doing these things. So confidence will come over a period of time with preparation and planning. Compassion, and this is an area which is very dear to my heart, because we spend so much of our time in medicine on the technology of medicine and the treatments of medicine, which is all important. I'm not taking anything away from that. But I think the compassion factor is critical. And when I talk to patients in my various capacities, not only as a practicing physician, but as serving on the board of the hospitals, being a part-time politician, being in the halls of Congress, being in the halls of legislatures, in my political action committee activities, it is very, very important for patients and the elected officials, everybody, that we bring that compassion back into medicine. Because sometimes the technology, we've become so high-tech that we lose the touch. We need to maintain the high touch. So high-tech and high-touch both are important. And the reason why compassion is important, sometimes after practicing medicine for over 25 years, it is apparent to me that the same medicine different people may receive, but the compassion can make a difference. It can transform people. It can heal them. And you will notice that in your own practice in the years ahead. And so please make sure that is there. And simple acts like that sometimes give people who are in a desperate situation the necessary strength to fight. Because a lot of times patients need to fight for themselves. We can help them fight, but that compassion gives them the ability, the reason to fight. And lastly, one great physician several decades ago said that the secret of caring for the patient is really caring for the patient. You've got to care for them. And people don't care how much we know, but they know how much we care. And we need to keep that in mind and make sure that compassion is part of it. Now, I also highlighted about leadership skills. Now, it looks like Afroz touched a little bit about leadership skills through AMSA. Please participate in that and keep developing these skills. Now, leadership skills is not necessarily about running for political office. It's about being leaders of your teams. Because what's happening in healthcare today is it's not just the physician. There are physicians, and sometimes physicians are working with a couple of nurse practitioners or physician assistants, and then there are physical therapists, pharmacists, and all kinds of individuals who are in this healthcare industry, and they are all part of this team, and we as physicians are the leaders of that team. So how we communicate with them, how we communicate with the various members of the team in a way that it does not generate conflict. A lot of times when you work as teams, it can result in conflict, and we need to make sure that we have the skills to resolve those conflicts nicely in an effective way, that way we can be efficient and effective. I know a lot of I don't know if some of you may already be MBAs, but I see a lot of young physicians these days not only are MDs but MBAs. And that's an opportunity you may want to explore down the road. But having an MBA degree is really about having a degree, but you could be an effective leader without having to get an MBA degree. But always consider that, because in the healthcare of the future, there will be need for physicians who have leadership skills, management skills, who can deliver the healthcare and transform the healthcare, because we are going to be moving to a healthcare system that will ask for more efficiency, more effectiveness, and will ask for doing more with less, cutting down waste and things of that nature. So I think that will be important. Communication, everybody here knows how important communication is. And as a practicing physician, and I tell this to a lot of my residents and fellows, is that communication among themselves, communication with patients, communication with their families is critical. And the most important reason is, number one, is to provide effective care, but also if you want to cut down the risk of malpractice, one of the best tools is effective communication. Now you go and ask patients who love their doctors, and there are a lot of them who know that their doctors might have made some mistakes, but they do not see them. And I've seen that happen because that communication is so important. If they know that their doctor really cared deeply about them, they communicated with them, and also they were compassionate to them. Of course, there are always exceptions to it, but a lot of them do not. They understand that mistakes do happen. And we should do everything possible to avoid those mistakes, but also communicate effectively. And this communication has become more and more important because of increasing technology. Everybody's busy documenting everything on their computers, and they're so busy documenting. It makes an effort. You've got to take that effort to make sure that there is enough time to communication with the patient and their families. You cannot over-communicate. As a matter of fact, if you err on one side, we should err on the side of over-communicating rather than under-communicating. And over these past 25 years, I have seen when physicians don't communicate with each other, like the primary care physicians, the surgeons, the cardiologists, sometimes disasters happen. So it is very important that the loop has to be closed and then communication needs to take place effectively. We talked a little bit about advocacy, and as members of the American Medical Students Association, advocacy is not a strange thing to you. It is very important. Because if you are not going to advocate for your patients, who will? The patients are relying on us, the physicians, to advocate on their behalf. And this will take time, this will take energy. And sometimes you may wonder, well, I have so much to do. I have to take care of patients, I have to take care of my family and things like that. I don't have the time for advocacy. But if we don't do that, somebody else will do it. And that's something that comes out of the other entities' advocacy may not be something that you like. And that is very important. I think you need to seize the opportunities, and instead of blaming other people for doing this to us and doing that to us, I think we need to take the initiative. We need to take the advocacy, the bull by the horns, and make it happen. In life, only two things will happen. Either we do something